Hey everyone, it's Kelly Cook with the Kelly Cook Real Estate Group, your Arizona real estate specialist. Today is a fantastic topic, which is what are the closing costs that you would incur when purchasing property in the state of Arizona? Stay tuned and we'll discuss. Okay guys, as always, if you want to see all properties currently in the market for sale in the Phoenix area, please click the search property link just below. Or if you want to see what your house value currently stands at in today's changing market, which is for the better, please click the home valuation link just below. All right, now the topic today is what are the closing costs that a buyer pays for when purchasing a property here in the state of Arizona? I'm glad you asked because there's a lot of misconception about this and people just really don't know what they are. Okay, the first one are inspection fees, okay? So inspection fees. Now, you don't have to get a property inspection on your property, but the two most common inspections that most people get that we always recommend is the general home inspection and a termite inspection. Now in Arizona, we have what is called subterranean termites, and so they're not that destructive compared to most termites in other parts of the country, but they are very prevalent. So in Arizona, it's really not a matter of if you're going to get termites, it's a matter of when to some degree, okay? But those are the two inspections we do recommend. The inspection costs will vary based upon the size of the house, if it has a pool, things of that nature. But generally speaking, for a 2,500 square foot property, you're probably looking in the ballpark of $400 plus or minus, right in that ballpark, okay? The second cost is the appraisal fee. Now, if you're paying cash, you don't have this fee, unless you want to have an appraisal, which you still have the right to do so. But if you're paying cash and don't care about the appraisal, because it's not required, you're good. If you're getting financing, the bank will require an appraisal to be done on the property. In this situation, that fee will vary as well based upon the size of the home. But on average, you're looking somewhere in the ballpark of $550 to $600 for the appraisal of your property, okay? And that, as well as the inspection, those fees are paid outside of the closing, okay, to the companies directly. That's what happens the vast majority of the time. All right, the next set of closing costs, that's the first two. The next set of closing costs are your lender fees, okay? Now, this can vary greatly as well, because right now, most lenders in today's buying economy and housing market, they don't charge origination fees. That's kind of a thing in the past for the most part. It's gotten very competitive with lenders and getting business, and so most don't charge that. They may have a processing fee or an underwriting fee, which could total, $500 and maybe $1,000, somewhere in that ballpark for those two fees, and some small little fees potentially. But again, that depends greatly on who you use, what type of loan you're getting, conventional, FHA, jumbo, that sort of thing. So just check with your lender regarding that. And you also, in most cases, have the ability to roll your fees with a lender into the interest rate, okay? So if the current rate you would qualify would be 4.5%, let's say, as an example, maybe if you went up an eighth of a point to 4.625%, maybe those fees that the lender normally would charge would go away because it's rolled into your interest rate. So that's a possibility that you can do as well. So talk to your lender about that. The fourth closing cost and final one here is the title fees. In Arizona, we are an escrow state, not an attorney state. So we have escrow companies that act as the escrow and title companies combined, okay, in the state of Arizona here. So you're gonna have three sets of fees with the title company. One is an escrow fee. It's a flat fee that the buyer and seller both pay. You're gonna have a title insurance policy. If you are financing as the buyer, okay, you will have to have, because the lender will require a lender's title insurance policy. So you have to pay for that. Again, you're looking somewhere in the ballpark of, depending on the size of the house, but again, 2,500 square foot home, depends on the price point. It's hard to say. It could vary from $2,000 all the way up to $6,000 or even higher potentially if it's a really multi-million-dollar property. And then again, you have the escrow fee, which again, that could vary between $600 and $1,000, potentially a little more, a little less. Again, it could vary somewhat dramatically based upon the size of the purchase price of the property. And you also, with the title company, have fees that are called endorsements, okay? These are like a reconveyance fee, a recording fee for the county, small little fees like that. So the three fees that you have with the title company, escrow company, are the escrow fee, the title insurance, and the endorsements, okay? Now, those are the 4 sets of closing costs. That will cover everything. And here's the thing to know, guys. If you are purchasing a property, you have closing costs like we just described, and you have a down payment, okay, in most cases, right? They are separate from each other, okay? So you have a down payment, which will be, 3.5% if it's FHA typically. If it's conventional, more like 5, 10, 20% down. Those are typically the breaks on the options. And then you have the closing costs. So they are 2 separate things that you will come in with when it's closing time to sign your papers, and you bring that money with you to the title company, okay? That's how that works. Also keep in mind that with closing costs, they can be negotiated to have the seller pay your closing costs. So again, down payments are over here, separated, closing costs are over here. With the closing costs, they potentially can be negotiated by your awesome real estate agent to be paid for by the seller. Effectively, what that does is allow you to roll them into your loan. So then when closing comes, you just walk into the title company with your check for the down payment, and that's it. All right, closing costs are rolled into your loan, quote unquote, paid for by the seller. All depends on how you look at it. So it's possible to structure it that way if that's something you want to do, try to keep some of your money liquid still in your savings or bank account, okay? So if you have any more questions about this, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, guys. Would love to chat with you and talk shop any day, all day long. 480-227-2028 is where you can reach me, or Kelly at kellycookhomes.com. And we look forward to seeing you on our next video. Take care.